So here in the Pacific Northwest, while it does rain a lot, when the sun comes out in the wintertime, we do dip below freezing. And if the conditions are right, we get a lot of snow for here. And it's a different kind of snow. Anyway, I have been busy this week getting all of my potted trees either planted or put in the ground. So here's one of the trees. This is an Italian plum. And the previous place I lived had a really old Italian plum tree. And the year I was there, it fruited like crazy. Oh, they were so good. So I saved some of the seeds and I stratified them and I planted them, and I have little tiny trees. I don't want to lose them. So while it's okay for the upper part to be in the cold, it's not okay for the roots to be in the cold. So they are going to be planted in the ground. The pots and all are going to be planted in the ground. I have planted other trees, taken them out of the pots and planted them, but I have a lot of these. So I have at least a dozen of these. So I'm going to put them in the ground for this winter because I'm just running out of time. So the other trees I have that I actually got in the ground are apple trees that I started from seed. One year, when I was living on the Oregon coast, the Astoria Food Co-op had a whole bunch of heirloom apples for sale. And they were varieties, all these different varieties. Varieties I'd only read about, but I've never tasted because you don't find them. So I got two of each variety, and I tasted them. And some were okay. Some I loved. And anything I liked, I saved the seeds. And I cold stratified them by putting them, the seeds in a baggie and with a damp paper towel and putting them in the refrigerator over the winter. Much to my surprise, they all sprouted. So the house that I had on the coast, I had transformed the side strip into a plant nursery. So I had planted all those little seedlings in there, and I planted my favorite ones in pots. I had to move rather suddenly from there. Rather suddenly and unexpectedly, I had to move from there. So I gathered all of my potted plants, and I actually potted some of the plants that I wanted to save. The people who were buying them didn't want them, so buying the house didn't want those plants, but I did. So I potted them up, and I want to thank Barbara for watching them for me while I found a place for them. And I also want to thank my good friends here in Washington State, you know who you are, who also watched them for me until I had a place to at least have them where I could take care of them. And then I moved here to this island, and by now it's been, I think this year the apple trees are 5 years old. They really needed to be planted in the ground. So here they're going to stay. I'm more than happy to plant them here in the ground for future people. I have no idea what the apples are going to taste like. I won't know until they actually produce fruit, what kind of apples they are, and if they're going to be true to type, if they're going to be a cross, if they're going to even taste good. But I think they'll be something anyway. So I've been doing that this week. We're supposed to have a hard freeze in a couple of days, so I need to have all of those plants in the ground. So I've had to put aside my cleaning and restoration of the hand tools I have. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm restoring hand tools and why I'm not going to be using power tools very much. I will talk about that in another video. What are you doing out here in the snow, silly chicken? Hey, wanderer. I see you. Yeah. We see you. You're looking for stuff. One little chicken out of the whole flock, brave enough to come out. You're gonna get the snowberries? Oh, bless your heart. Bye-bye. So this is the next tool I'm going to be refinishing or cleaning and restoring. I thought I'd give you a close-up of what it looks like at the moment. This is how I bought it. This is a Stanley 2358 Mitre Box frame. Yeah, and I believe this one was made between 1932 and 1980, or maybe it's 1936 and 1982. I'll have to refresh my memory. Anyway, so this box is really interesting. First of all, it has this rule here. This is the number of sides for a box. So if you wanted to make a 6-sided box, a 5-sided box, 12, 24, and so on, those are one of the settings. It also has, it's really hard to see because it's rusty. There, I've rubbed a little bit off right there. This rule here. So you could also set it by that. This is what sets it, and at the moment, this is what moves the pillar around. And at the moment, you can see it's frozen. It's frozen solid. These do go up and down, and if I go towards the light as carefully as I can and take a look inside, you will see those shiny bits here. These here, those are rollers so that the saw can roll along. The top of the saw fits in there and rolls along and makes a nice smooth motion. You can kind of see a bit of the original color, that lovely cobalt blue. This is where the holders for the stock used to go. They are missing. And if I go around the back, I try not to get in the light. I think this is missing one of the plates to hold down the stock. So it is the end of January, and the sun is out. And here in the Pacific Northwest, when the sun is out, it means everything freezes. So that's just the way it is. We are expecting snow in the first week of February. So I am going to start taking this miter box apart, and I gave a little tour of it the other day, and I'll probably stick it in before I start here, before we get to this part of the video. So I have this box which has a nice gasket around it to help keep out moisture that I'm going to put all the parts in. So, and I have tape, marker, and since this has a lot of gonna have a lot more parts, and I want to group them together, I'm gonna put some of these things like this in baggies. So I'm going to stop. I have to go get a screwdriver, slotted screwdriver for these big slotted screws, slot-headed screws. I'm going to go get that, and then I'll get started. All right. So I do have an array of slot-headed screwdrivers. I have bigger ones. I've picked these up for like $1.50 here and there, and they all need to be cleaned and restored. But I really like, some of them are so gorgeous, like these two. They've got these, let me show them to you. They've got these metal ferrules, if I can get it to focus. There we go. A wooden handle. So once I get my workshop built in the winter, I probably will be able to light a nice fire and work on stuff like cleaning these up, cleaning and restoring these. I really do want to restore these to a good condition. But for now, they'll work still. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, let's see, let me just start and see if they'll come off without any kind of solvent, lubricant, what have you. So I'm going to try that. They're so dirty. Okay, I think, let's see. Okay. Yeah, I need to go this way. Okay. This is actually knurled, so it's meant to use your fingers on as well, but you can tighten them with give it an extra degree of tightness with the screwdriver. I'm gonna get a baggie handy, cause yeah, wow, okay. I'm saying wow because I didn't realize on the inside. I'm going to show what this looks like up close. Yeah. So, I don't know if you could see the striations there. These are like teeth. And this, at first I thought this was geared, but I think what it is the dirt and grime has impressed on it, on this washer, these whatever they are. I can't think of what the name is right now. Whoops. Yeah, so you can see they're like teeth, like a zipper in a sense. Well, not like a zipper, they're like teeth. I'll find out what the name is. Okay. So because they have these little wee parts, and a lot more parts are going to be in here. I'm going to put these together so I know. Let's see, I think I will label this back. So I'll do B for back and F for front, and yeah. Okay. This has, I'm not sure. I gotta be sure what I'm taking apart, but I'm gonna go ahead and just do this symmetrically. Okay. So I'm gonna, there. Okay. All right. And as you can see, I am not quite 5'2", so this is not a very tall canopy, but it'll work. It works to keep the rain off, works to keep things somewhat dry, and it will do until I get my workshop built. I'm looking forward to that. So this is the front, and yeah, I'm just gonna compare. Yeah. All right. So this looks like it's missing a piece. Yeah, it's missing this little stop. So I'm going to have to look into that and see if I can find a replacement for it, or how important it is in its function. But, you know, I suspect it is. So this holds the rollers in there. They're really dirty, but that's what these screws are holding, these roller bearings. And the top of the blade, the top of the saw, sorry, that back of the saw, that it's a brass strip that stiffens the saw, but also it rolls along there and it makes it go really nice and smooth. I'll be demonstrating that. So this one is the back one, and I'm just going to put that right inside. I guess I might as well do this one too. This one's the front. Ooh, now that's interesting. Again, I'm not sure what's missing and what isn't, so I am going to have to do my research. It's really dirty. So this one's the front. Maybe it's just, well, yeah, maybe just the front one needs that. That's why I need to do a little more research. So, yeah, I'm going to put my glove on because this is broken and it looks like it's caught and it's under tension, and I don't want things to spring, you know, go sprung. So I'm going to do this really carefully. Okay. Okay, no, it's not gonna. So I'm gonna have to quickly, there's so many little tiny washers, and this looks like a lock, it's a lock washer. You can see the little tabs on that thing. Okay, but the hardware is so beautiful. It's so much more heavy duty than what we see these days, for the most part. I know you can probably get some heavy duty stuff. You pay a lot more for it, but I love these old tools because of they just don't make them like this anymore, and we all know that. That's part of why I'm getting old tools. The other reason is because that's all I can afford. It's true.